Hello, guys. You probably haven't heard from us in a long time, but we are still live. We're still doing this old game, and
Still,
today we and with that I mean me, myself, Maxim, and the OG boy Bullet. We wanted to show you something that we've been cooking up for the space rework,
yeah, it's
which
really cool stuff.
yeah, it's
Uh,
the fighter combat because we are starting with the smallest units and then working our way up to the bigger ones and then balance it like that. And then hopefully in the
yep,
end it's awesome feeling combat with, yeah, similar to ground, where your positioning makes all the difference and you have to use the units correctly. All of that.
yep.
Okay.
We went through and redid all the weaponry from scratch and all the armors and stuff inspired by ground, and a lot of the weapons also have a lot of cool effects like they do on ground. Um, and yeah, and I guess like Maxim said, I guess it we're starting from the smallest units and working up. Um, so the fighter combat is like the thing we want to showcase,
Yep.
because it's at the core, like if you don't get this right, none of the rest of it really doesn't matter. So we're starting from essentially the way we're thinking about this is fighters are our infantry, and so
Yep.
fighters are going to be very specific in what they're good versus weak against, and instead of just throwing a bunch of things at each other and somebody winning,
The
you'll
classic
have a more
fuzzball.
yeah, you'll have more insight, or not insight, but you'll probably have outcomes that kind of make sense out of like dogfights and matchups.
Yep.
But yeah,
So that's what we want to show off today. Some matchups that give you a rough idea of how the dogfights will look like in a 1 versus 1 setting. So the first one we wanted to show, because it's so basic,
the
X-Wing versus TIE
classic.
Fighter.
You got to get this right. If this isn't right, then
Then,
like this is Star Wars.
yeah, this
You
is
don't.
basically Star Wars. We don't need any more.
The rest of it is just um, fluff.
Okay, so
But yeah, ideally, what we want is a couple X-wings to blow up initially from the alpha of the ties, because the ties come in such huge numbers and
well, maybe not blow up, but at least get hit and lose some
wounded.
shields.
Yeah, and the X-wings are a little bit less maneuverable, so the ties should be able to always be on the tail of an X-wing or more or less outmaneuver them.
Yep. Okay. First, we have to find the ties, though.
Yep.
To the weapons. Oh, yeah, there they are. Okay, we burned up one tie with the torpedoes. It's a similar mechanic, or somewhat related to the ground mechanic. But let's first talk about the weapons a little bit. So, ties come with light dual lasers. So that's like one of the lightest
Most
weapons,
basic.
most basic, pretty charged, fast fire rate, pretty accurate, like the most accurate weapon, but not the most damage and range. Whereas X-Wings, they have 4 medium lasers, so they do more damage per shot, but are less accurate against fighters. As you can see, they miss a lot. Yeah, they have a tad bit more range too.
And the torpedoes.
Yeah, and
Can't
then,
forget.
yeah, wanted to go to that last. Okay, we already won, and if we go over our X-Wings, they survived this pretty well. No hull damage, but they also repair and recharge shields, so kind of
Right.
makes sense.
We have that astromech thing is very important, because it only certain, well, I mean, we had this in the past, but
Yeah,
only
it's
certain
not really new.
fighters will. Yeah, only
Uh,
certain fighters will repair. But all
but
right.
yeah,
I mean,
the
that's a
last
decisive
thing about
victory.
the X-wing was the torpedoes. So they have light torpedoes. We have different calibers, I guess, of torpedo weapons, and the light ones are somewhat good against fighters. And if they hit them, they set them on fire. So you see them burning, and they will lose a certain percentage of their health for a certain amount of time. So if you shoot down like a burning unit, will be killed easier because it has less health at the given moment. Next matchup, the N1 Starfighter versus the Fang Fighter.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, the two special fighters that people really like. And I think they're used a lot in the current version.
Yep.
So size
like
also really matters now. Size matters, guys, because these boys are way harder to hit than, say, like a TIE bomber that is like triple the size of these boys. And these are interceptors, basically. They're very fast, they can turn super quickly, and their shields recharge quicker, that's another thing. Like, bombers have more shields, but recharge slower, so they survive the initial pounding of the ships they want to bomb. And interceptors recharge faster, so when they're in a long combat, in a long dogfight, they get more shield and can survive more shots.
Yep.
And these...
But by default, the interceptors are usually the health is usually much lower.
Yeah, because they're also smaller, more maneuverable. And
Right.
now here we can see the Naboo fighters and the Fangs. They both have these repeating blasters, so they fire salvos and then have to recharge for some time. Yeah, and that tends to do a lot of damage if they like approach a squadron that is not in a dogfight yet. They can wreck them really up. They also lower the fire rate.
Yeah, the repeaters work a little bit more like the machine gunners for the infantries, so they'll suppress fighter craft. We're kind of essentially
Taking inspiration.
modeling the space after what works in ground, which is
Yeah,
really cool.
which is funny because we modeled ground after space initially.
Yep,
With
it's gonna
like
come full circle.
with like having more open fields and yeah, all of that. Okay, let's go Empire. Got all the cool Empire ships here. This matchup would be the Interceptor against the Super Fighter. Yeah, weapons of the Interceptor is it has the same weapon that the TIE has, but it additionally also has two of these repeating lasers that we already saw on the N1. And they're of course fast as fuck, maneuverable as fuck. They can also reduce their speed more. I don't know if we want to keep that, but I think it's kind of cool on the Interceptors. That they can slow down more and get behind the enemy. And the Super Fighter, which is a heavy fighter, so it's meant to like bomb frigates and corvettes and all those ships, has like heavier weapons. It has heavy lasers and torpedoes, but they also have the mass driver guns, so they can somewhat fight off these interceptor attacks. But as you can see, they just tank for days now. They get shot a lot, but eventually they will be taken down. But it's not like it is in the current release where you just fly your interceptors close to bombers and they die. Like, this takes at least a little while and is like fun to watch, I think. And gives you also time to react to the interceptor attack and maybe throw in some fighters on your own. Next matchup.
Lagged out anyway.
Next matchup on the list is the TIE Defender against the A-Wing. So both interceptors, TIE Defenders, like the best fighter the Empire has at their disposal. Like superiority interceptor, like it's basically a superiority fighter with interceptor maneuverability and speed. Also has a ton of health and shields, all that good stuff.
It's gonna get a cool ability too once we get to it.
Yeah, abilities are not done yet. Like, this is just raw combat stats and all that.
Yep. The other thing about abilities too is we might consider taking away all the units with the swap weapons stuff
because
because
it's annoying. Nobody likes it.
it's very micro. Or if they do stay, they'll be timed, like with auto fire scripts, like the tanks on the ground.
Yep.
But
More on that
yeah,
later.
it's just a little too much to manage when you've got lots of squadrons flying around and yeah.
Okay, let's try to get the A-wings to attack us. Then we can get into a dogfight without blowing them up right now. Okay, they're coming.
There we go.
Okay, so the defender, of course, has like medium lasers, like the X-wing. It has 4 in account. And also ion cannon, so it can fight off shields, of corvettes and bigger ships. But there's also these light torpedoes that also the X-wing has. Whereas the A-wing is just super fast, maneuverable, and it can swivel its guns. So the repeaters, they can turn 360 degrees, so in these dogfight clouds they can fire more often. So where other ships couldn't, they can.
It's really also the concussion missiles are a little bit different than torpedoes. Whereas the torpedoes kind of incinerate ships, the missiles when they hit will kind of they're kind of treated like grenades, where they will slow down units when they're hit. Just because of the blast, it kind of shakes the ship up. So you've got kind of 3. Well, it's not the only 3, but kind of a lot of the specialized weapons have secondary effects. So you've got like repeaters and missiles and torpedoes and ion cannons, and they all do something to help support.
I think the concussion lowers defense, right? Not speed.
Oh yes, sorry, my bad. Yeah, ion cannons lower speed.
Yeah,
I messed that up. But yeah, either way, the weapons do take on a little bit more of a more like utility role, I guess. Are we gonna Black Sun?
Yeah,
Have
Black
you
Sun
done that?
too. Next
yeah.
matchup that we want to show off is what happens if you mismanage your fighters, basically, and order your super heavy freefall bombers, which have like super high tier torpedoes, so they will just eat through capital ships, cruisers, frigates, all that good stuff. When you order them to attack TIE fighters, because that's not what they're made for. And we want to have that in the game too, that they should lose against the TIE fighters, right?
Right. This is equivalent to, on the ground, rocket infantry trying to attack regular infantry. Like there's not really a contest, even though maybe the rocket infantry is.
They have some pistoliers or something.
Yeah. So like, while yes, they have weapons to defend themselves, it's not gonna be useful in a dogfight. It may be useful against like the gunships that fly around, but slower targets, maybe Y-wings would be okay matchup against this, but TIE fighters will or should
shit on them,
outmaneuver them easily. Yeah, it's about maneuverability too, more than weapons.
Yeah, where the free falls, yeah, they just have the lightest weapons, like 2 of the lightest lasers. So already, yeah, like look at this, they turn
Yeah, it'll
so
take a year.
slow. And then they look, and TIE Fighter's already gone. And there they are again. And now we're getting attacked. Oh, we shot one down. And they chunk away at our health. We have giant pools of health on these free falls.
Yep.
Like, look at this.
But yeah, as you can see, like, yep.
But they don't get their weapons in range.
Mm-hmm.
And TIEs do. And isn't this awesome?
Yep.
This is
exactly how it should work. Like the free falls can barely line up a shot, but when they do, they usually will blow up a TIE. But
yeah, these TIEs are also damaged. But they're, yeah, the free falls are chunked and their shields don't recharge, so.
Over
time, they also have like a better armor type, so. Just changed that recently, so maybe they will even win against the TIEs. But yeah, look at this, it's just following him and he can't do anything. Like these situations, I've rarely seen them in Empire at War to this extent. And there it goes. Yep, and the ties won. Freefolds did a lot of damage though, surprisingly. Very cool.
Yep. I mean, both squadrons died. Yeah. In terms of galactic, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, and then
Star Vipers. Man, these guys are so cool.
the Star Viper. The heavy attack craft. So they will face off against the ewing, so we have two very high tier ships battling each other now. With somewhat similar weapons actually.
Yep. The other thing we're also thinking about is how infantry has tiers. We're trying to fit our fighters into, while not explicitly saying, you know, this is a level 3 infantry or whatever. It based on price, based on like, you know, build times and stuff, they will fall into, you know, like Star Vipers should be able to mop the floor with lower tier
Ties, for example,
units.
should blow
I'm
through
also interested with the S foils on these because when they do that, they could fire backwards, which is an interesting
detail for running off.
right. It's, if they're getting chased, maybe by an interceptor, it'd be better to put them into S foils.
Yep. And there it goes. So we have the initial alpha damage. Oh, we hit our torpedoes.
Yeah, they didn't really hit any.
Ewings didn't hit. Even though we have a big frame to hit, so. Oh, I think we lost one already.
There we
got
go.
another one on fire.
Yeah, I love the burning. Burning's awesome.
Yeah, it looks so cool. Okay, we have 4, they have 5. Oh no, we have also 5. Oh, another
Now
one bites the dust. But they are all pretty damaged. We hit our torps. And another one. Oh, there it goes. It got hit afterward and then it's dead.
Yep. Yeah, when you're on fire, the ship is very vulnerable. You're going to see more of that in ship-to-ship combat later on, but.
Yeah, and the last one against 4, yeah, the Starfighter, Star Viper, sorry, has good maneuverability, good damage, but it's a big frame. That's its disadvantage basically. Very cool. Next matchup on the list is what happens if two super heavy bombers meet each other. In this case, the K-Wing, which has the advantage of having turrets, which are very useful in dogfights, as you might have noticed already, against the TIE Punisher, the super heavy destructive Empire bomber that got even more scary.
What did the Punisher get now? There's like a bunch of torps and missiles.
Yeah, it fires 4 concussion missiles and 4 medium torpedoes. And then also has, oh, it's a voice acting. And then also has the dual lasers. Oh, too bad. I can't do power to engines yet. That sucks. Because I didn't put it on a squadron. The slam ability, you know?
Yep.
Okay, let's switch this. We got the firepower.
What I love about the bombers now, that missile just came around and roasted it. Does this have this is the only fighter with the ship laser cannon, right?
No, it doesn't have a ship laser cannon.
Oh, okay. It's the heaviest fighter.
Yeah. No, it does have medium. It has a medium turret, and then it has a light turret. It doesn't have other lasers. It's more about the ordnance.
I love how slow this dogfight is.
Yeah.
I don't think these
different
Punishers are. This is not a good match.
Yeah, K-Wings are just too powerful.
There's only 4 of them too, which is impressive. There's 6 Punishers.
Yeah, but like the turret that they have, like it's a dual medium.
Yeah.
That's very powerful.
Yeah.
The ball turret.
For sure.
Okay. Another similar matchup to this, the Y-Wing against the Flare Star. Flare Star shuttles, usually rare sight. But they also got turrets. Believe it or not. They're not rigged as turrets, so they don't move, but they fire like turrets do. So if you want to have more turrets on fighters.
Should have done K-Wing versus Flare Star then.
True. Now it's too late.
Retreat and do it again. Well, if the Y-Wings die, you can always
That's true. Let's just
K-Wing
see
it
what
up.
happens here. Very
Sure, the
slowly.
Y-Wings will die.
Like before, yeah, the Flare Stars are also 4.
Yeah, that would have been a great. What are we doing?
It's not about the fair matchups, it's about the interesting matchups. Oh, but yeah. They also have the medium torpedoes. Those are anti-ship torpedoes, so they won't fire them at Y-Wings.
And this will be just lasers.
Pew
There's
pew.
a laser shoot-off. Y-Wings,
Oh
do
yeah.
they fire?
Oh yeah, they have the ability still. But yeah, they can stun these boys and then shoot them down easier.
We did a
There it is.
change to the Y-Wing.
Oh, I didn't think that the Y-Wings would win this. Yeah, first the TIE Hunter versus R41. So we see like a high level Empire fighter against one of these shitty mixture of like light bomber. They have the assault missiles, the yellow ones. Whereas the TIE Hunter has 2 medium laser cannons, 2 stun ions, so it can also slow down enemy fighters in a dogfight. And then it also has repeating lasers and torpedoes, so it's loaded.
Oof.
Yeah, these boys
It's a
loaded
lot
as
of
fuck.
small package.
Yeah, but they have shit health. Ah, let's eat them. Ah, they are outrunning the light orbs.
Here we go. Don't the R41s have ions too?
Yeah, but I think they have the shield ions. Ooh, set one boy on fire. So we are suppressing them and slowing them down. Yeah, they have no chance at all. Reload times might also change on like the rockets and stuff. Oh, they killed one!
Whoa.
And the assault missile hit.
Yeah, you saw one of the torpedo hits there against the R41, and then then the lasers finished it off.
Ah,
That's
okay,
really cool.
not too bad by the R41s.
It was a good attempt. Good try.
Next one. 2 of the like most packed fighters against each other. The XG-1
Stacked.
with missiles, heavy lasers, ion cannons against the Bwing, which has too many weapons to even count. Like I think we have it at 1 heavy laser, 2 medium ones, 2 anti-shield ions, 1 stun ion cannon, and a light laser.
It's just
everything.
A bit of everything. Just, but the thing is the Bwing is extra uber slow.
Yeah, unless it's an S-foil.
But yeah, then its firepower is cut drastically. So. Meanwhile, the assaults.
Just firing off the missiles.
And the missiles coming around. Whoa.
Oh, they hit some down. Yeah, these gunboats are no joke.
Gunboat ready.
You can see the heavier lasers miss a lot more. They're more designed against corvettes and slower moving.
Like the Bwing.
targets.
Oh, but here, it got all some of its weapons off against me.
Form up.
Ah, yeah. This boy slowed down even further. And that's it.
Standing by.
No chance.
Gunboat.
Starwing squadron reporting.
Too good.
Cloak shape.
Okay, the cloak shape with all the concussion missiles. Yep. And Arc 170. So let's not fast forward this time.
With a nice tailgun strafe. Here we go.
And possibly some heavy laser snipes in the beginning standoff, but they're gonna get blasted by the concussions.
How many concussions is this? Is assault and concussions, or is it just concussions?
No, just concussions. I don't
Oh,
remember
man.
if I put 4 or 2.
Oh man.
It was in the description. We wanted fucking ordnance on these. Oh yeah.
Yep. Don't go head on against cloak shapes. Okay, one
Yeah,
arc
yeah. Fuck
170.
your
Can it do it?
repeating blaster. Oh, there it goes.
No. Let's go, heavy. Come
No.
on, no.
Yeah, the
Such a
recharge for
shame.
these big salvos is too low,
Probably,
but it's
yeah.
fun. Yeah, like you unload and then you have to wait. And for the last matchup, for this video, for this showcase, we want to see 2 of these big gunships. The Skip Ray against the AotR 6. Both have turret weapons, both are slow as fuck and have heavy guns, are meant for something else, but now we will put them against each other.
You know what matchup I'd really love to see? V-Wings versus T-Wings. Just the worst 2 fighters against each other, see what.
T-Wings, they won against Thais at least, when I tested them.
I mean, yeah, they should. A lot of things should win against TIE fighters.
Yeah.
You need a swarm of TIE fighters to make it useful.
Okay, let's eat away slowly at each other. The mass drivers hit, but they have the heavy guns.
Mass drivers.
Oh, the ions even.
Nope.
Yeah,
This is
the
dead.
mass driver turret's too powerful. Yeah, skip race. Fucking threat now. So this is what we are aiming for with the fighter combat. We're pretty happy with this. Gets some more fine-tuning, of course. But yeah, stick around, keep an eye out. We're probably gonna do more showcases of like the bigger ships and other things coming to space combat soon. We got somewhat of the framework figured out now of what we want to do, and yeah, started working on it. So now it's coming slowly, and it will be glorious. Any words from you?
No, this
Closing
all
words?
kicks ass, and hopefully we're done before we're all extremely old and not irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah, these other mods doing so much content too. We have to keep putting in stuff. Okay. See you guys later.